cussing out, getting bets, and that's what they're all been trying to do, you know, because he's thinking, if I can get this man angry, get this man mad, then he'll deviate from his.
I don't think about these people because it's just talking. Listen, I long time go to my God. Boxing gets pieces my life. A lot of people say, hey, listen, you not take belt heavyweight, you not take belt 4-belt cruiserweight. You know what I say? We'll see. We'll see. For me, it doesn't matter. It's my road. Just my road. Blah, 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 blah. It's just a lot of people. Yeah. Left sit.
I just loved being uncomfortable. So putting myself in uncomfortable situations and yeah, make the best out of it. And then you come out stronger and you conquer. So I think that's gonna...
Just shoved it in his chest. The point's still there, but you're not crossing that line, and that'd have been quite funny.
Boxing, I don't like it. People think because you're a promoter, you like all that stuff. Me, I didn't like one.
Rico Verhoeven's alleged attack on Oleksandr Usyk at the heated press conference has triggered serious reactions across the boxing world. Eddie Hearn comments that Rico still has dangerous attributes, but appears mentally unsettled and in pain. He also questions how those around him are responding to his behavior, while Usyk remains calm and focused.
But he's going to be dangerous. Like, all the attributes that he has, they still exist, regardless of his mental state. But I see a kid in pain, you know? I've got to be honest with you, like, I don't see how people around him can be looking at his behavior and being comfortable with it.
After the press conference attack incident, Rico Verhoeven explains he stays calculated and believes in the power behind his punches when they land clean. His words come right after the controversy involving Oleksandr Usyk, where tensions are already high. Usyk's composed and technical boxing style stands in clear contrast to Rico's aggressive mindset.
Always like very calculated, but yeah, when I connect, I connect. Like I said, there's a lot of weight behind these punches. So yeah, of course, within the kickboxing sport, I was used to just throwing the kicks and doing my thing, but now we get the opportunity to use the hands more. So Peter is like, oh, he's like crazy excited. He's like...
Johnny Nelson explains that Oleksandr Usyk has already dominated everyone and established himself at the top of boxing. However, he points out that financially Usyk may not match stars like Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua. He suggests this fight exists more for business value and intrigue, making it important for Usyk's next career move.
You've got to look at Alexander, what he's done. He's wiped the floor with everybody. He's established himself at the top there. So now you look at him and you think financially, will he be in a better position than Tyson Fury? No, not in my opinion. Anthony Joshua? No, not in my opinion. The big money fights aren't out there for him. So he's got to do something. He's got to put himself in a position where he's got to win, because he's proved he's top draw. So in this fight here, I think it creates interest, intrigue. I'm quite sure there's a healthy pay packet at the end of it. This has now been...
Eddie Hearn highlights the extreme tension following the press conference incident involving Rico Verhoeven and Oleksandr Usyk, suggesting that emotions are so high that strict security separation becomes necessary. The situation reflects how the brawl has escalated interest, but also concern within boxing circles. Usyk remains composed in contrast, while Rico's actions continue to fuel controversy and force organizers to control the environment tightly.
You honestly think if these two come together like this, well, you know what's going to happen?
So what
I'm going to keep them apart by a wall of security.
Peter Fury highlights that both Rico Verhoeven and Oleksandr Usyk are willing competitors who wanted this clash because of their fighting mentality. He describes them as ultimate fighters, showing mutual willingness from both sides. However, After Rico's recent behavior, attention shifts more toward Usyk's calm professionalism compared to Rico's aggressive image, which has started shaping public perception ahead of this matchup.
Rico wanted the fight, Usyk wanted it. They said both ultimate fighting men, aren't they? So fights like this are not going to be hard to make.
Adam Smith reacts to the incident involving Rico Verhoeven and Oleksandr Usyk by acknowledging that such behavior is not acceptable in a face-off setting. Still, he admits that controversy has amplified interest in the fight. The situation has created massive buzz across the boxing world, while Usyk remains calm and composed, contrasting sharply with Rico's emotional outburst.
The fight business, and it's just made it even bigger, and we wait to see what happens next. And I'm a storyteller, and I love the interest and intrigue in matchups, and I think this is a fight that the casuals will just revel in. Is it controversial? Have we already seen controversy at a press?
Paul Smith questions Rico Verhoeven's place in a world title discussion, pointing out he has not built a boxing resume strong enough to justify this level of opportunity. Many contenders are waiting their turn, and this situation creates frustration in the division. Usyk's achievements are also acknowledged, but the focus remains on whether this matchup is being pushed more for attention than merit.
A kickboxer for a long time and not really done much in boxing at all to warrant a shot at Oleksandr Usyk when there's a queue so big, and
Indeed.
You know what I mean, and that's the most important thing. The people who are sitting waiting for their shot in line are going to be fuming over this. Some would say, to counter their argument, Usyk's probably earned the right to have an easier one after what he...
The Wade Plemines reacts to the confrontation between Rico Verhoeven and Oleksandr Usyk, explaining that physical pushing can be part of boxing build-ups, but slapping crosses the line. Security managed to control the situation quickly, but the moment still went viral. Usyk's composed reaction once again stands out compared to Rico's impulsive action.
So, I don't mind fighters pushing and shoving. Probably shouldn't be slapping each other at the face-off. Security did a pretty good job of corralling it while they could, but I thought it was just an open...
Rico Verhoeven openly praises Oleksandr Usyk by comparing his dominance in boxing to his own legacy in kickboxing. He acknowledges Usyk's long unbeaten run at the top level and describes the potential clash as a special moment for combat sports. Despite earlier tension, this shows respect toward Usyk's status as an elite champion, reinforcing why this matchup attracts global attention.
Sure. And Oleksandr Usyk is the Rico Verhoeven in boxing.
Yeah.
So like he's been dominating for so long and in such phenomenal fashion. So I was like, wow, if we could do this, that would be like the cherry on the cake.
Oleksandr Usyk treats this clash with full seriousness as he describes it as a real fight against a dangerous opponent. He acknowledges Rico Verhoeven's reputation as an undisputed kickboxing champion and respects his physical strength and size. However, Usyk clearly separates entertainment from competition, stressing that while the event may carry show elements for fans, his mindset is completely focused on real fighting. His disciplined approach shows why he stays calm even when Rico creates chaos, because Usyk remains locked in pure preparation mode with zero distraction from outside noise.
It's big, it's real fight, it's a dangerous guy. It's a undisputed champion for kickboxing. It's a big guy, like a hard, but this is 50% show, 50% fight. But for me, it's 100% fight, because I very serious in the training, my plan.
Aegis Climas gives an update on Oleksandr Usyk's preparation, confirming that training is reaching its final stage and everything is progressing smoothly. Usyk is reportedly in strong condition as the camp moves toward completion, showing that his focus remains fully on performance rather than distractions like Rico Verhoeven's recent actions. The mention of travel and final preparations highlights how structured and disciplined Usyk's camp is. While controversy builds outside the gym, Usyk stays in a controlled environment where every detail is being fine-tuned for a high-pressure showdown.
He's doing very well. His preparation is already coming down in the very end, and soon as going to be back home in a week or so. About in a week, maybe 10 days. We're going to Australia. He kind of like looks kind of bumped up, but he looks in a very good shape. I saw his sparrings. I'm not going to talk about the sparrings, but I saw what's happening in the sparrings. And
Liam Goff delivers a strong criticism of the entire situation, calling the matchup a gimmick and questioning the legitimacy of Rico Verhoeven being placed anywhere near a world title opportunity. His frustration grows even more when highlighting the pay-per-view status and championship stakes involved. The argument focuses heavily on Rico's limited boxing background and how it compares to established contenders who have been waiting for their chance. This view adds fuel to the wider debate around fairness in boxing rankings. Amid all this noise, Oleksandr Usyk's position remains that of a proven champion whose legacy is being used to elevate a highly controversial and heavily debated event.
This is a joke. This is nothing but a gimmick fight, and it's even more shameless considering the fact, one, it's on pay-per-view, and two, it's for the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the world. Does Rico Verhoeven, with his one win over a decade ago against the guy who was 0-5, deserve a world title shot? Answers on a postcard. Can you play the recorder? No. That's the answer. This is shocking. Shocking stuff from Oleksandr Usyk. This is Oleksandr Usyk picking money over legacy.
Aegis Climas gives an update on Oleksandr Usyk's preparation, confirming that training is reaching its final stage and everything is progressing smoothly. Usyk is reportedly in strong condition as the camp moves toward completion, showing that his focus remains fully on performance rather than distractions like Rico Verhoeven's recent actions. The mention of travel and final preparations highlights how structured and disciplined Usyk's camp is. While controversy builds outside the gym, Usyk stays in a controlled environment where every detail is being fine-tuned for a high-pressure showdown.
Yeah, but I'm not interested in... I like Rico Verhoeven, sparred him, know him, nice fella, very good kickboxer, one of the best of all time, but he's not a boxer. If he wants to fight... Can he box? Yeah, he can box, he's a very good boxer, but he shouldn't be boxing the best heavyweight in the world. If he wants to do it as an exhibition, go and do it. I'm not interested in Usyk Verhoeven, just for the simple fact it's a...
Aegis Climas gives an update on Oleksandr Usyk's preparation, confirming that training is reaching its final stage and everything is progressing smoothly. Usyk is reportedly in strong condition as the camp moves toward completion, showing that his focus remains fully on performance rather than distractions like Rico Verhoeven's recent actions. The mention of travel and final preparations highlights how structured and disciplined Usyk's camp is. While controversy builds outside the gym, Usyk stays in a controlled environment where every detail is being fine-tuned for a high-pressure showdown.